Tensions between Iran and Israel have reached a fever pitch, with both nations on high alert and military forces on standby. This follows a series of recent events in the Gulf that have significantly heightened the stakes. A suspected Israeli missile attack targeted an Iranian ship, raising the specter of open conflict and further destabilizing the already volatile region. This incident is the latest in a long-running shadow war between the two nations, marked by accusations of sabotage, cyber attacks, and proxy conflicts that have simmered for years. The attack on the Iranian vessel, while not officially acknowledged by Israel, has drawn a sharp response from Tehran, with officials condemning the act as a blatant provocation. Iranian officials have vowed a calculated and decisive response, signaling their readiness to retaliate and emphasizing their military preparedness. This escalation has set the region on edge, with fears of a wider conflict looming large and neighboring countries closely monitoring the situation. The international community, already grappling with numerous crises, is now faced with the specter of a potential Iran-Israel conflagration, prompting urgent diplomatic efforts to de-escalate tensions. The stakes are incredibly high, with the potential for devastating consequences that extend far beyond the Middle East, affecting global security and economic stability. The Strait of Hormuz, a crucial maritime choke point for global oil transportation, lies precariously close to the epicenter of this escalating tension, making the situation even more critical. Any disruption to oil flow through this vital waterway would send shockwaves through the global economy, potentially leading to significant economic disruptions and increased oil prices worldwide. Iran's response to the alleged Israeli attack has been swift and uncompromising. Tehran has made it abundantly clear that it will not hesitate to defend its interests, vowing to utilize all means at its disposal. This declaration signals Iran's willingness to employ its military capabilities, which have undergone significant development in recent years. Iran's military doctrine centers around asymmetric warfare, utilizing its ballistic missile program, drone capabilities, and naval forces to project power and deter adversaries. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, a powerful branch of the Iranian military, plays a key role in this strategy. The IRGC Navy, in particular, has been actively challenging Western naval presence in the Persian Gulf. Iran's arsenal of anti-ship missiles and fast attack craft poses a credible threat to maritime traffic in the region, including oil tankers traversing the Strait of Hormuz. Israel, for its part, has neither confirmed nor denied its involvement in the attack on the Iranian ship. This ambiguity is characteristic of Israel's long-standing policy of strategic ambiguity, designed to maintain an element of surprise and keep adversaries guessing. Despite the lack of official confirmation, Israel has been engaged in a protracted shadow war with Iran for years. This clandestine conflict has played out across multiple domains, including cyberspace, maritime routes, and through proxy forces in Syria and elsewhere. Israel possesses a highly advanced military, equipped with cutting-edge technology and a formidable air force. Its intelligence apparatus is considered among the best in the world, enabling it to conduct covert operations with a high degree of precision. Israel's military doctrine emphasizes preemptive strikes and rapid, decisive action. Its recent acquisition of F-35 fighter jets, equipped with stealth capabilities, further enhances its ability to strike targets deep inside Iran if necessary. The escalation of tensions between Iran and Israel has triggered alarm bells across the international community. World leaders and international organizations have issued urgent calls for restraint, urging both sides to step back from the brink of open conflict. The United Nations, the European Union, and major global powers have expressed deep concern over the potential for a wider war in the Middle East. Such a conflict, they warn, would have catastrophic consequences for the region and the world. Diplomatic channels are being activated in a frantic effort to de-escalate the situation. Neighboring countries, including Oman and Qatar, have offered to mediate between Iran and Israel. However, these diplomatic efforts face an uphill battle. Deep-seated mistrust and decades of animosity between Iran and Israel make finding common ground a daunting task. The current situation in the Gulf is akin to a tinderbox, with even a small spark having the potential to ignite a major conflagration. Both Iran and Israel possess significant military capabilities and have demonstrated a willingness to use them. The risk of miscalculation or misjudgment is high. A single incident, whether intentional or accidental, could quickly spiral out of control, leading to a broader conflict. The presence of other regional actors, including the United States and its allies, adds another layer of complexity to an already volatile mix. The potential consequences of a wider war in the Middle East are almost too dire to contemplate. Millions of lives would be at risk, economies would be shattered, and the entire region could be plunged into chaos. The international community must remain vigilant and actively engaged in efforts to prevent further escalation and promote dialogue between Iran and Israel. The stakes are simply too high to allow this crisis to fester. Despite the heightened tensions and the very real threat of military conflict, diplomacy remains the only viable path to a lasting solution. The stakes are incredibly high, and the consequences of failure could be catastrophic, not just for the region, but for the entire world. While the road to peace is fraught with obstacles, the alternative, a wider war in the Middle East, is simply unacceptable. The human cost of such a conflict would be immense, leading to untold suffering and displacement for millions of people. The international community must redouble its efforts to facilitate dialogue between Iran and Israel. This is not just a regional issue, but a global one, requiring the concerted efforts of nations around the world to mediate and support peace initiatives. This will require patience, persistence, and a willingness to engage with all parties, even those with whom there are profound disagreements. Building trust in such a volatile environment is no small feat, but it is essential for any meaningful progress. One potential avenue for dialogue is the revival of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also known as the Iran nuclear deal. This agreement, if revived, could serve as a cornerstone for broader diplomatic efforts. The JCPOA, which was negotiated in 2015 but abandoned by the United States in 2018, offered a framework for addressing Iran's nuclear program through diplomacy and engagement. Its revival could help de-escalate tensions and provide a structured approach to resolving complex issues. While reviving the JCPOA would be a complex and challenging undertaking, it could provide a much-needed platform for dialogue and confidence building between Iran and the West, including Israel. Such a platform is crucial for fostering mutual understanding and preventing future conflicts. The escalating tensions between Iran and Israel have sent ripples of anxiety through global energy markets. The Strait of Hormuz, a vital artery for global oil transportation, lies in close proximity to the current hot zone. Any disruption to oil shipments through this strategic waterway would have significant implications for the global economy. Oil prices, already volatile in recent months, have spiked in response to the heightened tensions, reflecting market jitters and fears of supply disruptions. The potential economic impact of a wider conflict in the Middle East is difficult to overstate. A significant disruption to global oil supplies would trigger an energy crisis, sending shockwaves through industries, financial markets, and household budgets worldwide. The international community is closely monitoring the situation and exploring ways to mitigate the potential economic fallout from the crisis. However, the most effective way to stabilize energy markets and avert an economic crisis is to de-escalate tensions and find a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The recent escalation of tensions between Iran and Israel has cast a long shadow over the region, creating a sense of unease and instability that reverberates far beyond their borders, leaving the future of their relationship shrouded in uncertainty and raising questions about the potential for peace or further conflict. Years of mistrust, animosity, and clandestine warfare have created a deep chasm between the two nations, a divide that seems increasingly difficult to bridge. The potential for further escalation and conflict remains high, with both sides preparing for the possibility of military engagement. Without a concerted effort by the international community to facilitate dialogue and de-escalate tensions, the risk of a wider war in the Middle East will continue to loom large, threatening regional and global stability. The stakes are incredibly high, and the consequences of inaction could be catastrophic for millions of people. The current crisis underscores the urgent need for a new approach to security and diplomacy in the Middle East, one that prioritizes peace and mutual understanding over conflict and division. The old paradigms of confrontation and zero-sum games are no longer tenable in an interconnected world, facing shared challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and economic instability. These global issues require cooperation and collective action. The international community must seize this opportunity to forge a new path toward peace and stability in the Middle East, recognizing that the future of the region depends on collaborative efforts and sustained dialogue. This will require a commitment to diplomacy, dialogue, and a shared vision for a more peaceful and prosperous future for all people in the region, transcending old enmities and building a foundation for lasting peace.